Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your source material, break it down, and give you that intellectual shortcut.
Now, if you've been with us for a while, you know we're usually knee-deep in market analytics or dense scientific papers.
Right. But today, our source is, well, it's wonderfully strange. It comes from a fictional story called Dexter Doodle and the Remote of Reality.
And it is, it's just a fantastic little treasure trove of insight. On the surface, it's this simple story about an 8-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look closer, the whole narrative is a perfect sort of contained case study on these huge ideas we all wrestle with. Things like linear time, the psychological price of trying to manipulate your own reality.
And the really surprising value of just living in the moment. It's the ultimate what if.
Exactly. What if you could fast forward through the boring bits? What's the hidden cost?
So our mission for you today is to pull out those concrete lessons, the scientific ones and the life ones that Dexter learns. We're going to distill why normal might actually be the ideal setting.
To do that, we have to meet our hero, Dexter Doodle. He's the quintessential 8-year-old, an expert in couch surfing, stacking cereal.
The important stuff. And of course, Saturday morning cartoons.
Right. And his whole adventure begins, as all great quests do, with a search for food. It's a rainy Saturday, and he's digging in the couch cushions. Not for truth, but for a lost cheese puff.
A noble cause.
And that is where he finds it, an anomaly. A remote. It's shiny, it's black, and it's glowing, even though, it has no battery.
That's the first sign. It's already breaking the rules of his world.
Oh, absolutely. And then you see the buttons, and that's when you know this is serious.
You've got your standard fantasies right. Fast forward, pause, rewind.
Sure.
But then it gets weird.
Yeah.
You have a Wigglify button and one that just says reality shift.
Which suggests you're not just controlling time, you're controlling, the very fabric of existence.
Exactly. And then there's the most important one, the one that tells you this can all go wrong. Reset to normal.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Dexter, being 8, has zero patience. He immediately goes for the pause button. What happened?
It's instant. And it's total. The whole world just stops. The source material paints this perfect picture. A spoonful of cereal is just hanging in the air.
Glistening with milk, I think it says.
Yes. And the dog is frozen mid-bark. His mom is stuck mid-sentence. Just saying, no more.
It's the ultimate kid fantasy. Complete freedom, no accountability.
And at first, it's just chaotic fun. He's dancing in traffic, which is frozen, so it's safe. He puts sunglasses on the goldfish.
He makes a spaghetti noodle crown for himself at dinner. It's, a pure, harmless rebellion against the rules.
But the thing is, the novelty wears off fast. If you can do anything, nothing you do really matters. The world just becomes a boring museum.
And that's the pivot. The fun is over, and now he wants to optimize. He doesn't want to wait for the good stuff, so he reaches for the next button.
He hits fast forward.
And what's the immediate result?
Poof. It's instantaneous, and it's the core lesson of this entire story. He skips the rest of Saturday, all of Sunday. He just wakes up, and it's Monday morning.
He got what he wanted. He skipped the downtime.
He did. But the price he pays is, well, it's devastating. The text is very clear. He missed the school field trip to the chocolate factory.
A peak childhood experience, gone.
And even more importantly, he missed his turn to be the line leader for the week.
Okay, let's slow down there. The line leader thing. Why is that specific detail even more important than the chocolate factory?
That's a great question.
Because being line leader, it isn't random. It's a reward you get for, waiting your turn. It's about process. It's earned.
Right. You can't just skip the line and expect the reward. He tried to skip the boring, necessary steps, the waiting, the being patient, that make the reward feel meaningful in the first place.
So the source is basically arguing that things like delayed gratification and just going through things sequentially, they aren't bugs in the system, they're features.
They're the required ingredients.
Yeah.
If you only have the highlights, you lose the context that makes them highlights.
Yeah.
It's like a critique of productivity culture, but for kids.
A profound one. You can't just filter out the boring stuff without also accidentally deleting the magic.
So he's panicked. He missed being line leader. He tries to fix it. He grabs the remote and hits rewind.
And of course, this thing is a chaos device, not a scalpel. He doesn't just go back a day.
Oh no, he wildly overshoots it. He ends up all the way back in preschool.
And the detail the source uses is just, it's perfect. It's so humiliating.
He's wearing mittens indoors.
And he's screaming that one phrase every parent treads, I have to pee.
It just confirms that you can't surgically edit your life. You overcorrect and you just trade one kind of chaos for a completely different and maybe worse kind of chaos.
So he's been thrown into the future, then slammed into his embarrassing past. He thinks, okay, it can't get any worse than this.
A famous last thought.
And that's when he does it. He hits the ultimate button, reality shift.
And now we're leaving physics behind entirely. This isn't about when anymore, it's about what? The fundamental rules of the universe.
And the results are just so wonderfully specific and bizarre. What's the detail that stuck out to you?
For me, it was cats walking humans on leashes. The complete inversion of the established order.
Right, or pizza growing on trees, which sounds great, until you really think about the absurdity of trying to live in a world like that.
But the detail that really drives the whole point home is the change to a fundamental law.
Gravity.
Gravity starts working sideways.
And Dexter is immediately stuck to the ceiling. Which is, it's such a brilliant detail. It shows you that the boring, predictable rules of the universe are actually essential.
They're what allow you to function. If gravity is suddenly negotiable, then every single action you take becomes this huge, exhausting mental effort.
It's a total cognitive overload. You can't live a meaningful life if the operating manual for reality keeps changing every few minutes. You need a stable default setting.
So there he is, stuck to the ceiling. He's finally hit rock bottom. He knows he needs help.
And there's only one option left. He has to surrender. He hits the reset to normal button.
And the source says it's just an immediate snapback. Total reversal. Gravity goes back to normal.
The cat lets go of the leash, and time itself snaps back to the exact moment he first paused it.
His mom finishes the sentence she started what feels like 1,000 years ago. She says, "No more soggy cereal in the couch."
And Dexter, having seen the universe literally fall apart, just smiles. It's a deal. Soggy cereal is a small price to pay for cosmic stability.
That reset is the big aha moment. Why is the baseline reality, the one we're all trying to escape, actually the best one?
Because it's the only one that provides the framework for a life that makes sense.
This is where it really becomes a deep dive. Dexter gets the lesson. He realizes having all that power wasn't fun. It was just confusing and chaotic.
And it made him miss the best parts of his life because he was so busy trying to skip the slow parts.
His big conclusion is, what was it? The present is kind of perfect.
Even with math homework, he learned that life is an adventure that you have to live in real time. The messy bits are part of the deal.
It's basically an argument for mindfulness, but with sideways gravity. So, okay, let's ground this in reality. The device is impossible, obviously. But what does it teach us about actual science?
The story draws a really clear line. Real remotes use, infrared signals. They control a TV. They work within a defined system.
They control devices, not destiny.
Exactly. And the story hammers home a real scientific constraint. Time is linear. We can remember the past. We can plan for the future. But the only place we can actually live and grow and feel things is right now.
We can't actually fast forward.
No. And yet, we're always looking for the metaphorical version of that button, aren't we?
Oh, all the time. Productivity hacks to skip the struggle of learning something new, reading the summary, instead of engaging with the dense source material.
And Dexter's story is a warning label on that. When you just get the summary, you're deleting the context that makes the knowledge stick. You miss the line leader moments.
The small wins that build you up.
The stress of constantly trying to edit and optimize your life actually stops you from enjoying the perfectly good one you already have.
So that reset to normal button, it's basically an act of acceptance. Saying that stability, even with its annoyances like, math homework or soggy cereal, is better than the chaos of trying to achieve some impossible, customized perfection.
Yes. Accepting the process is the key. This whole deep dive into Dexter's remote is really an allegory for managing the world we live in now, with all its choices and information overload.
A pretty profound lesson to get from an 8-year-old stuck to a ceiling.
So he knows he has to get rid of the remote. He has to commit to normal. And the way he does it is also pretty telling.
Yes, the source gives us one last little detail. He needs to hide it somewhere he knows he'll never be tempted to look.
So where does our newly wise 8-year-old philosopher hide the key to the universe?
He takes a big cereal box and writes on it, in permanent marker, Brussels sprouts.
A place, as he notes, no one would ever check. Especially not him. It's an act of brilliant self-control.
He uses his hatred of a vegetable to protect the stability of reality. It shows that even with infinite power, he chose to come back to and protect the stable, boring, wonderful default.
So building on that, we want to leave you with a couple of challenges from the source material itself. Forget time control, we know where that leads. If you had a remote that controlled reality, What one single fantastical button would you add?
Something fun and useless, like a donut-making button, or a button that just starts a synchronized dance party wherever you are.
Right. And then here's the more reflective challenge, the one that ties back to being line leader. Thinking about your own life, what specific part of your process, the hard part, the slow part, would you promise you'd never, ever fast forward through?
Because as Dexter found out, the meaning and the growth and, yeah, the chocolate factory,
Yeah.
they're usually hiding inside the very moments we're trying our hardest to skip.
Think about the present you're protecting. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.